It's your classic love story, really. I don't honestly remember a time when they weren't there.
Hello and welcome to the commentary for Checkmate for the eventual DVD release of this film. I am Stephen Perring, writer, director.
I am Matt Johnson, camera and sound operator on Checkmate.
And we're seeing the beginning scenes of Checkmate, where we see the love between them, the two main characters. We've got Vivian Chung here, playing Elizabeth, and Sanat offering her his coat, and she responds with this sort of bored love. And
we have the
and watch this beautiful piece of romanticism. Oh, look at that! That is chemistry, emotion, and
that kiss is real.
Yeah, that kiss really happened. And Sanat modelled his behaviour on how he gets kissed by his aunt.
And we have him running through the corn. A key sort of image of innocence, if you will.
But it goes sour because she has to bring her own coat in that scene.
Yes.
A blue coat.
A lot of people missed that out.
Yes. Bit of Hollister branding there.
No, so we've got Vivian looking at Sanat there. It's obvious sort of problems already at this point.
She's not even properly looking at him there.
I know.
Well, I slightly interest myself.
And here we have the setting up of the chess game, which is interesting because neither of our actors here knew how to play chess.
And I don't either.
No, I don't think anyone does.
There wasn't much help instructing them. This scene took a long time to get into the right
We wanted
place.
to make sure we had the proper moves, pieces moving the right place. Here we have the elevator scene, which is interesting because the elevator is actually a purpose-built set, so...
And we all called it the elevator because we wanted to get in that Hollywood American mentality.
Yeah, it's definitely an elevator, not a lift.
No, it's Checkmate. Interestingly, is set in an alternative universe. So it's with the setting into an elevator because in Britain, in our universe, it's an elevator. Almost as if it was planned, a phrase that will pay off later in the film. Just stay with us.
Hang on. Aren't you Sleepyhead? What? Sleepyhead.
Sleepyhead, of course, having very personal meaning to you, Stephen.
Yes, I once fell asleep during sex with my girlfriend at 15, and that's all anyone would call me for the next 3 years. It was humiliating and a bad time in my life. But look who's laughing now, because it's a beautiful scene in a beautiful movie.
Of course, Stephen here, though, carefully omitting the double meaning of Sleepyhead, referring to his erectile dysfunction. Of course, he couldn't get...
You promised me you wouldn't talk about that, Matt. Can we just be professional?
I'm sorry.
How much did I pay you?
Not enough.
Classic joke coming up here. See, marks has two meanings. The first meaning is academic marks, what grade you got, and the second meaning is M-A-R-X, the famous sociologists.
I don't know. You put your own angle on it.
And the Engel joke, I don't actually understand.
Still gets me.
I don't actually understand it. They ad-libbed it. It was not written in my script at all.
But we found it so funny, we thought we'd keep it in.
Right. A lot of decisions were taken out of my hands.
The number one on the door there, of course, having significance because she is his number one.
But she's both of their
That's
number
true,
ones.
I hadn't thought of that. That's very clever.
There are layers to this film. Like a lasagna. You dig beneath the surface and...
Find lots of meat.
Yeah, you have meat, you have sauce, you have dreams, aspirations... Maybe even a murder.
So, we'll wait and...
At the bottom of your lasagna, towards the plastic microwave base, it's a bit of murder.
And gotta remember that's always hot. Lasagna. Tasty.
And your eyes drawn, not to Sanat here, but to Vivian with her acting. You'll see in 1 second, she used her hand to illustrate discontent.
I mean,
and a shake of the head.
Essentially part of the costume here was Vivian's bow. Right there, you'll see, obviously illustrating the fact that she's tied up in other things emotionally. pouring of the. This is actually watered down lemonade. You'll see in this scene. We couldn't use real alcohol on set, of course, because this was definitely a professional production.
And we have the classic scenes between two men. Who hasn't sat on children's park toys, then drank beer
whilst engaging in homoerotic behaviour? I mean, we all have. We all have.
Interesting. While this was the third playground we went to shoot on, we got chucked off by angry parents the first 2 times. So a bit of inside trivia.
Just a bit.
We will return to this scene with the beers later on, giving a whole new meaning on top of.
Again, we couldn't use alcohol there, so it was obviously juice in the beers there. I mean, Michael's actually allergic to alcohol, or at least he told me he can't handle it very well.
Which is interesting because I'm actually an alcoholic, and a lot of people were trying to keep booze away from me.
Sanat was actually, we've realised now, on drugs in this scene. He's not actually tackling Michael as part of the action here. He actually thinks he's a demon. He was on acid.
In one of the takes we might put on the bonus feature, Matthew Miller has to stop punching Sanat to free himself from his death grip.
Yes.
It was very unpleasant. This film was stopped for about an hour and a half. And great work. Great. Any aspiring actors, look at Vivian there. She starts off still, waits for a cue, then walks.
I mean,
you wait for the cue.
That's interesting because it was actually part of a much larger scene, which we now have cut, where on the way to the house, Vivian has to kill a stray cat which attacks her, and that takes place just before we cut in just there, which is why she's standing still.
Yeah. She got herself remarkably composed afterwards.
She did indeed.
Of course, 2 old friends meeting, so Sanat looks out over the river for quite a while, taking in the scenery.
Have you decided?
Michael's eyebrow acting coming into play here. He's an incredibly expressive actor.
With his eyebrows.
With his eyebrows. Nothing else. Nothing else at all.
I think I'm ready. I'm gonna do it.
And Elizabeth?
She knows.
This scene took about 4 months to write. The scene by the river. We need to get the pacing just so. And this scene here, he moves the pawn forward. And if you know anything about chess, you know that there are an unlimited number of moves you can do as your opening move.
And that would be the most interesting.
And that would be the craziest move, is the pawn 2 steps forward.
Here we are with the water in the mugs.
The beautiful Marie Mills, you just watch walk away all day, putting the water coffee in. Again, alternative universe, coffee looks like water in ours, so it would come on a saucer with a little spoon.
So it does make sense in our.
It does make sense.
In the tie-in novel.
Objections overruled. Bit of geography schooling there from Sanat. Sanat actually a geography buff.
Yes, he is. He
knows all the towns. Wigan,
in
Wakefield, Derby.
Well, he specialises in physical geography. I think you'll find particularly longshore drift. That's a speciality.
And then we return to the earlier scene, except now we realise Max, the Michael Miller character. I've been calling him Matthew Miller for a while, but Michael, Matthew, both M's.
I often called him Max Miller as a joke. He didn't take it well.
No.
He spat in my face once.
You know how I feel.
I just have such a good time with you.
Looking into the camera there.
We've in this scene we've tried to get as many killer lines as possible and not worry about what goes between them. It's all a line.
It was more about the one-liners. It was.
In fact, it's all been rather truthful.
It's all been rather truthful, turning it on its head.
Which of course was beneficial. It made
Max.
things easier for me. For us.
Ooh.
You were so obsessed with your career, your degree, getting us masters that you ignored her. It's not true.
Slamming the table there. I just jumped here in the commentary booth. I jumped many times editing that.
It still gets me now.
Never do that to you.
Looking at the camera there, letting us know that he'd never do that to the audience, not just
reassurance, so you can get on and enjoy the film until the rug's pulled out from you by an amazing twist.
Here we have Vivian coming in here. We had an ongoing joke actually on set that YSTV also stood for Why Stop There Vivian, because she could never get to the right place to stop in the scene, so it took many takes to get her to stop in the right point.
but you now see Vivian's charms working on the Max character here. And to get the chemistry right, we did insist they have sex a number of times in front of all of us.
They are lovers.
But look how it pays off. That hand holding, you know, came with some really brutal fucking.
It really did. I mean, painful sex between both of them. They're actually having sex in this shot right now. It's quite difficult to tell from the angling, but it did happen under the table.
And there they're looking at a war memorial, the most romantic of scenes.
Clearly referencing the loss of Max's father, which we find out about soon.
Chemistry is a fickle bitch, though.
Boom!
That line, I love that line. Chemistry is a fickle thing. It's funny about chemistry. Chemistry is a fickle bitch. We knew we had the right line there, and I actually gave myself 2 weeks off to celebrate after I wrote that line.
We did. We partied hard after we had that down.
We had banners made up to celebrate the writing of that line.
If you want to buy T-shirts with that line on, just follow the YCV link.
Yeah. ycv.co.uk/chemistry is a fickle bitch /t-shirt.
So we planned it all out. If we were to be together, then you'd have to go. She couldn't just break up with you, though. You're too smart. You'd work it all back to me.
He work it all back to him, so they have to murder him. Classic plotting, where one thing inevitably leads to the other thing.
I mean, if you follow closely enough, I wouldn't call it predictable, but it's certainly the logical way that the plot would go.
Surprising yet satisfying.
Yes.
Classic writing.
Yeah.
And now we return to the scene from earlier with the open beers. That's how I keep all my beer. Bottle cap off, room temperature, waiting on the table.
Just a lot of people don't know, but you can leave beer open for days on end, and it tastes
months.
I mean years even, and it tastes just as good.
Better, some might say.
It does mature like wine.
This scene, interestingly, all improv'd. We let them go at it just to get that chemistry, we see, and because you can't plan for that. There's just something that happens. It's kind of like it's the miracle of storytelling. It's the way that you put 3 effervescent, just entities together and just watch them light up.
I think Vivian's slightly awkward in this scene. Not just because of the dialogue, but because Michael, during their sex rehearsals the night before, couldn't actually perform. It's quite embarrassing.
And he blamed it on her glasses, which I think hurt her self-esteem.
It was a mean jab.
Land of opportunities. Some people say land of opportunity.
I think a lot of people say opportunity, yeah.
But there's more than one opportunity in America. That saying is wrong. And I stand by that.
Yeah.
Still, I have a life here.
And she might miss that line, which is my father died because of America. And who can't relate to that?
I mean, my father died because of America too.
My father died because of Denmark.
I mean, it happens to everyone. Someone gets someone.
The country gets some sort of parental figure to a permanent end. Once again, we return to this motif.
The watered down lemonade pouring into the glass.
Posh word there, motif.
It is.
I'm not sure what it means.
Just the Negra wine there, as you'll see from the...
Racist, some might say, but we like to push buttons. Risky. Risque, yes.
Risk gay, which of course is a key element.
Yeah. What this film answers the question: what are the risks of being gay? Risque. What is? And also highlighting the amount of people who walk down the streets from standing starts. She must have apparated onto that street. In our alternative universe, people apparate 4 doors down from the house they're going to. Then walk.
Oh, there it is. There he's full. I mean, we forget this bit. It was incredibly realistic on Sanat's part there.
Interesting trivia about that fall. The first time it happened, it was so convincing that a lot of people on set actually thought he had suffered a poisoning or a stroke or something. Rushed to his aid. Turned out absolutely fine. Just acting. We had a good laugh. We put him back up. We said, okay, whatever happens now, just no matter how good and convincing his acting is, he is acting. It's fine. So we did the take again. He actually did have a small fit. Yes, it went about 3 minutes before anyone actually realised what was up. But the third time we got that shot, and it's a beauty. It's beautiful. It's a beauty.
It's so believable. Here we didn't actually know what that means, but Michael assures us he's a medical expert, so he actually ad-libbed all of these incredibly difficult terms.
The important thing is it sounds like he knows what he's talking about, and so we're reassured by that.
And the eyebrows, of course, only adding to that assurance.
Yes, 90% of medicine is in the eyebrows.
It is.
And then this shot,
Bit of rowing there.
it definitely makes sense.
I'm a big fan of rowing, so I had to make sure that was in.
How could you go from that scene to this scene without a rowing insert?
It just couldn't be done.
Yeah, that's filming 101. The chemistry, once again, not being a fickle bitch, being an incredible asset to our film. Kiss in the hand.
And there we have the...
Not a real bite, that. Hard to believe.
No antidote, of course, meaning there's no antidote for the AIDS virus, which he has just given Max.
This is a massive AIDS metaphor. Not a lot of people realise that. So we're getting to the end of the chess match here. Surprising amount of pieces left on the chessboard for the end game.
Bit of trivia here, of course, is the placing of the words higher concentration on the board right there. You might see, you know, just inviting the audience to sort of really keep alert and see the layers of our narrative.
Of course, one more move before checkmate. It doesn't appear that any of the pieces have left the board, but as we said, we don't really understand. Establishing shot here. I think that you might not look like York because of the mountains in the background, but I assure you that is York. We took all the footage ourselves. We didn't take anyone's establishing shots from some sort of American mall in Colorado. Marie Mills coming in, running away. Yeah, you run away, Marie. Yeah, you run away. Sexy devil.
Checkmate, motherfuckers.
And then, motif.
Here we are
the
again.
Wine. Dirty glass.
In
Who's a
it
dirty
goes.
girl?
Pour that fucking wine.
Yeah, pour it. That's what we yelled at during the filming of the scene. We
were like,
dirty bitch, dirty bitch. She told us to stop, but you can't hear us because we put over our beautiful score by Marie Mills.
Vivian doesn't actually. She's teetotal, so she didn't want to pour even fake wine, but we had to just say pour it. And
pour it, bitch. Do it. And the score. How many keys do you think are being used in the score?
I believe 2, but
it's definitely more than one.
It is.
It's a multi-key. Score.
It is
like the professionals.
It is complicated.
Most professionals use more than one key, and we have used more than one key. So, we come to the end. What a journey that was!
It's been incredible. I notice new things every time. I think we've really created a fulfilling alternate universe.
Yes. And it's just a fulfilling story, a classic journey, as the opening line says.
Story,
it's your classic love story, really. And
so thanks to you, Stephen. So
yes, I mean, but what could be more classic than boy meets girl, girl meets boy, boy meets boy, boy poisons boy, boy reverse poisons boy, girl calls doctor.
I think they call that checkmate.
Thank you very much for listening. I've been Stephen Perring, writer, despite that Stephen Perini. I don't know if that was someone's idea of a joke, but I'm Stephen Perring! And also the director.
Yes, and I'm camera and sound operator Matt Johnson.
Until next time with Checkmate 2, goodbye.
The Reckoning. Au revoir, as the French say. You know.